Anyone can sell electronics. At Electronics Expo, they do more than sell products. They design, install, and support complete technology solutions. From home theaters and whole home audio to lighting, shades, automation, networking, security cameras, and premium entertainment systems. For over 22 years, they've helped thousands of homeowners experience technology at its very best. See the difference for yourself. Visit their Wayne or Paramus stores in New Jersey or shop now at electronicsexpo.com.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi!
Okay, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
There is a lot of news breaking. First, of course, a big case today. This involves the guy who's accused of killing our friend Charlie Kirk, Tyler Robinson. That was in court, and a lot of the evidence came out of what's in the case, how they have the case against him. And, of course, everyone's wondering what's going to happen with Graham Plattner, too. And joining us now here is Gregg, Jarrett, the great Fox News legal analyst. Gregg, I don't know if you heard just the new news that just broke. Graham Plattner is reflecting on his campaign. That's the political line he's putting out. There's a woman who dated him, and she accused him. She says that he raped her. One night he came intoxicated to her home 5 years ago. And she said, I had to come forward. She also says, by the way, this is one of the women who was in the New York Times report, but she was not named in that report. There was another woman who was. But in that report, I was reading a lot of details about her today. She was very disappointed that the media, that New York Times, downplayed the story, just like they did with the other woman in the New York Times case. And that's why she said, in part, I'm coming out now to say it wasn't like I was unhappy with him. I was raped by him, as she's saying. How serious is this, Gregg, Jarrett?
Oh, it's very serious. And, you know, I have said on the air that I suspected Plattner wasn't going to make it all the way to the deadline for withdrawing his name as the nominee for his party. I forget the date of the cutoff. Yeah, I think it's mid-July. So, you know, it's going to be coming up pretty soon, but he would need to drop out by that deadline, and the party would then have to very quickly pick a replacement, which might be the current Democrat governor who dropped out and has now suggested that she's willing to jump back in. So, you know, this is pretty serious stuff. This guy, you know, has got more baggage than, you know, the baggage claim at JFK. I mean, it's just horrific stuff about him. And why politicians like Liz Warren and Ro Khanna would still endorse him, notwithstanding what we know about him, is, to me, utterly bewildering. But I guess they care more about power than what's right.
You know, Gregg, I haven't seen comments today from them because this story just broke, I think it was like an hour or so ago. But I haven't seen reaction from, you bring up a great point, from where's the Bernie Sanders? Let's see what he has to say now. Let's see what Ro Khanna says now. I mean, you know, these are serious allegations, Judge.
Gregg, you know, the fact of the matter is, all along they've been covering up for him. All along they've allowed this to go forward. Where were the reasonable, sensible Democrats, the common sense Democrats who had a moral compass challenging this guy? The only one I saw in the Senate was Fetterman, and then you had the congressman from New Jersey.
Right.
Who also challenged him. But the silence in the Democratic Party was overwhelming.
And Judge, they even went further. Right after all that stuff came out with the New York Times report, I remember all of us were here together talking about this. There was that it was damning. Remember, it broke during our show. And Ro Khanna said, I'm going to be there tonight at his rally. And they blatantly said,
with all
we need
due
the
respect,
votes.
there was no silence here. There was actually an outright endorsement of this neo-Nazi.
Silence against the evil that this guy manifests.
I agree. And by the way, we have Michael Cohen with us, Gregg, Jarrett here, who has reconciled with President Trump, he was just sharing with us.
Well, look, Graham Plattner has a lot to answer for. You know, he shouldn't be in the United States Senate. He shouldn't be running for office. He should be, you know, in mental health counseling, because this is a guy who's got severe emotional psychiatric issues that need to be dealt with. And I'm actually happy that this information is coming out now rather than later. But you're right. The politicians who have actively campaigned for him, endorsed him, they are equally complicit in this and need to be held accountable.
And Greg, before we let you go, the latest in the Tyler Robinson case, this is the guy accused, of course, of the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, the outcome of the preliminary hearing today is day one of 5 days. It's a fait accompli because the evidence against Robinson is compelling and overwhelming. You've got DNA evidence linking the defendant to the suspected murder weapon, his fingerprints on the trigger, spent cartridge, unfired bullets. The most incriminating evidence of all is the written admission that he left for his roommate saying, I had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk, and I'm going to take it. And then he sends other incriminating text messages that are an explicit confession of what he'd done. So, I don't know what his defense is going to be. I can't imagine they're going to argue actual innocence. But look, I say this as a former defense attorney, there are some cases that are truly indefensible.
Yeah, it is so shocking. Judge Weinberg?
Greg, is this still call indefensible when you have videotape of Luigi shooting the guy in the back?
Right, right. I mean, that's called clear cut.
The same rationale, the same arguments I would make in the Mangione case. The evidence is compelling. It's overwhelming. It looked for a while that he was going to admit guilt, and within 24 hours, the defense team reversed course. So, these guys get their day in court. They're presumed innocent. The burden of proof is on the prosecution. But as cases go, both of them are pretty easy cases to make.
Almost as easy as that FIFA call, right? The one where Trump ended up getting the red card.
And he said, he said, all I said was it was a bad call.
By the way, it was a terrible call. And at the end of the day, you know something? He actually did a benefit to Belgium. If Belgium hypothetically wins tonight, they can say that they beat America at its best, right? Because he is our number one player that they gave the red card to. And if America wins, well, so be it, because we're better than Belgium.
That's a good spin. That's
Amen.
A very good spin. Spoken like a true counselor.
A true sportscaster.
Exactly.
Rita, we have to take a break.
Yep, Greg, thank you very much, Greg. Thank you.
Okay, my pleasure.
Thank you,
Greg.